there, my name is Taylor Bacon, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So I think it's fair to say the BBC is probably in quite a bit of trouble. I think BBC is quite a bit of trouble. They're decriminalising non-paying of the licence fee. They're making it really an option not to pay a licence fee, which is bad enough in itself. But, the BBC has spent the last few years... telling people they really didn't like them very much. They really disapproved of them. They spent the last, 4 or 5 years just really wagging their little finger and talking down to them. And then incredibly just being relentlessly wrong. And having no self-awareness of it. So now, they're in trouble. So how do we know they're in trouble? The Herald of Doom. The Herald of Doom is always the comic book industry. We're going to see a few bits of mea culpa there. Too little, too late, I'm afraid, but I think that's where we are for the BBC. Before we get in the video, can I ask you guys, can you like the video? Can you like it? I mean, even if you dislike it, can you like it anyway? I know it's a bit dishonest, but, I'll take what I can get, baby. Can you like the video? Can you share the video? But most importantly, can you subscribe to my channel? That would be fan-freaking-tastic. Now, I want to say, if you're one of the people out there who watches my video, now I feel that's a real plateau that I got to. Now, I'm not making this up. There are literally people there. I don't know how many, but there are literally people there who watch everything I do and say to scan for it so they can take little chunks of it and put it on Twitter and go, see what this little bad man is. And they really, they do. Honestly, listen, if you're one of those people out there, you need to subscribe. You don't want to miss anything. But I would also point out, when you spend your life looking into other people's activities and you're not the East German Stasi, that's really not good. That's not a good sign. Yeah, life is going well. That's probably a sign that you need to rethink a few things. But okay, whatever. You guys, you gotta subscribe. And tell your crazy friends to subscribe, because I'm going to say terrible things, and none of you want to miss that. So yeah, now if you're one of the people that I would say isn't freaking crazy, hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. It makes a rabbi insanely happy. Now, what happens if you subscribe? Obviously the good Lord will look down upon you and bless you in the same way that you have blessed me. But if that's not your bag, by the way, results may vary. But if that's not your bag and you like a bit of comic books instead, I think I can help you out on that front. I do weekly competitions. The prize is being away tonight when I'm on the TARDIS show. We're doing a watch along with Smith and Jones, and I can't freaking wait. I love this season. I can't work out if I like this season the most, which is David Tennant's David Tennant's second season. It'll be the 2007 season, or the Donna season. But I freaking love this season. I think Gridlock's one of my favourite stories. By the way, we worked out last night on a live stream, if you are going to drop acid, and kids, don't do drugs. If you are going to drop acid and watch Doctor Who, I think the best episode to watch would be Gridlock. But, if you people have the suggestions like Pyramids of Mars. No, you're going to have a horrible trip. You want something fun, okay? You want something fun and frothy and light. You want Gridlock. Well, I freaking love Gridlock. Anyway, I digress. I'm giving away tonight on the TARDIS Zone. This is the prize. Judge Dredd Origins. Judge Dredd. Look at this Brian Bowden cover. Freaking awesome. I love it. Is that... Yeah, look. It's Tom Frame. Tom Frame's the one of the city blocks. Judge Dredd rumbles into the cursed earth on a mission that takes him to his very origins, which is the name of the strip, origins. And then we have a lengthy flashback to when we see Cadet Judge Dredd and Cadet, his brother, Cadet Rico Dredd. And so to win this prize, fantastic prize, you just subscribe to the channel and in the comments, leave the hashtag Cadet Rico. But the prize I got next week is a really good one. It's we're going to be announcing it tonight. Come on back. There's lots of prizes. Also, regardless of what your theological worldview is, I'm a rabbi. I don't really hide it. Okay, I'm a bit Jewy. I'm a rabbi. And coming up, I think on Friday is a day called Hoshana Rabbah, which is the A day that the is the when the non-Jewish nations of the world get their fate, their multiverses. You don't get just one fate; you get like a whole range of fates. I think stamped. This is all Kabbalistic stuff. You don't get one fate; you get a range of state, and it all basically depends on your free will choices. What's going to happen to you is, but all the good about it gets decided on Friday. I believe it's Friday, and I am happy to pray for you for whatever it is that you want. If you want it, I want it. Subscribers only, because I'm getting a ton of these. Subscribers only. If you want it, I will pray for you. I don't know if it's going to work. I can't guarantee it. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. If there's anything you want, completely anonymous. I'm not going to tell anybody like, my dick's got warts on it or something. Whatever embarrassing thing. I'll keep my mouth shut. Okay, I will pray for you. And listen again. I don't know if it works. I don't know if anybody will see any benefit. I'm happy to do it for you. So send in your prayer requests. And this is not something I do often. So send them in. I've got a big file coming up. It's going to take me freaking forever to go through them. Fine. So let's get to the story. I'm not sure where do we start. Let's start over here. We'll start here with an article from the Daily Express. And Daily Express, for goodness sake, do something about your website. There are ads everywhere. It's a bit dead. I know print media is suffering, and you're trying to make more money from your online website. But God, guys, have a bit of self-respect. You are covered in bodily fluids for money at this point. It's just look at it. It's just terrible. Well, but more shameful than the Daily Express is. Wait, is Daily Express right wing, left wing, centrist? I really don't know. I haven't lived in England since. When was it? 91? 91 I left England. So, yeah. Good one. Come out 30 years. And it's been like, I wasn't a regular reader of the Express. Anyway, so they say, I'm going to guess they're on more on I think they're right or centre is my guess, but let me know. Honestly, whatever they are is what they are. BBC demands $1 billion in extra funding after outrage viewers switch off licence fee. Aha! And funnily enough, this is such BBC math. I think they've lost 377 million so far. And so they said, triple that. Because it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So they're demanding $1 billion in funding after, they spent years, absolute years, wagging fingers at people and telling them that they're no good. We've had a paradigm shift. The pandemic has brought us a paradigm shift. The paradigm shift is it's become a consumer market. It used to be very recently, last year, you could put out something that was, utter dreck, but because it was something that people that had love for, and they habitually paid for it, and the Drek wouldn't sell great. In fact, the sales were horrible. The Drek wouldn't sell great, but and they sold enough. And they had other times things sold enough to make it financially viable. That's over. That is completely over. That's completely over. Who is regretting this? The harbingers of doom, as always, are the comic book industry. So let's go and look at this before we continue. This is from Aubrey Citizens. Aubrey Citizen is a comic book writer who. He works on G.I. Joe. He's worked on a bunch of stuff, and his careers are basically over. His career is over for much the same reason the BBC are in a lot of trouble. Let's read what he tweeted. This was 4 days ago. A few years back, I did irrevocable damage to my career after getting caught up in online political histrionics. Sound familiar? Sound familiar there, BBC? Don't make the same mistake I did. Take a step back, assess what really matters and what makes a difference, and realize that it ain't on social media. So here's the thing: BBC have got bored of making entertainment making stuff to entertain people. That's basically their remit. Make entertainment, make them think. Make them think. That's the thing. But they now just want them to think their thoughts, because The BBC is run entirely by a tiny clump of piss babies. That live on Twitter. So I'll say, I think it's like 3% of England is on Twitter, or 3% of the Western world is on Twitter, which is great if you're Twitter. You hit 3% of any population, you are doing incredibly well. I mean, just to give you an idea, the death rate from the pandemic is probably going to be well below 1%, and we've uprooted everybody's life. So 3%, pretty darn good. Okay, 3% they've done incredibly well, but there's still only 3%. Now a third of those, my guess is a third of those, are the Twitterati, the piss baby Twitterati that like to feel good about themselves, but don't like to do anything to feel good about it. They don't like to be virtuous. They don't like to put the work into being virtuous, so they try and do things that are like quasi-virtuous, that make them feel virtuous, which is generally speaking lecture you, right? That's basically what's going on. That's what went on with Citizen here. So his problem is this, that it's the publishers have gone away. The publishers are dried up, and there's not enough work around. And so now your only option to make money as a writer is to go direct to consumer. So I think the next people to fill this in the Doctor Who world, which is my main demographic is Doctor Who, is people like Paul Cornell and what's the word again? Ben Cook, Paul Cornell and Ben Cook. It's both of which are genuinely talented. And Paul Cornell wrote some of the best Doctor Who ever. They are both genuinely talented. Ben Cook and Russell T Davies' book, Writer's Tale, freaking awesome. And his work is a genuinely talented people who are connected to a niche audience that should be able to support them forever. But they're going to run into the same problem that Aubrey Citizen here did. A few years back, I did irrevocable damage to my career after getting caught up in online political histrionics. That is the definition of these people, of again, Ben Cook, of Paul Cornell. They especially Ben Cook. My God, he lives on Twitter. He lives on Twitter, and he loves to tell people that they're wrong. And I think he does that because it makes him feel like he's right. It elevates himself, because he has all these people have sad and pathetic lives. If you live on Twitter and you do, and this again, if you spend your life looking for associations of with unorthodox people, looking for anything that you can vilify somebody from, you're probably and you're not the East German secret police, right? You're not the Communist Chinese Party Cultural Revolution police. You're not any of those people. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. So here's the thing, but the human nature, I think human nature is we want to forgive. If you're not one of these crazy piss babies, people like to be forgiving. People like to, okay, you made a mistake. Okay, you say sorry, let's all move on with life. There's no point in this. But I think the problem is this. I think it's been years and years and years and years of being called the worst things humanly possible. I don't like Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who is because it's badly written, or her performance is terrible, and they go, you're one of those evil National Socialists from Germany in the 1930s, and they really do believe it, and they believe it because they're losers. They're complete losers. They're like, hey, I'm punching them in the face. I'm going against white supremacy. It's me. And that's really what they do. And they act like the milk monitors. The milk monitors I used to have in school when I was like 5. The people who were given this this artificial sense of self-worth by having some form of authority, which they don't have. And so people are not going to be so interested in forgiving and forgetting after being called, sexist and racist for years and years on end, just because you'd have to not like something that's objectively freaking awful, that's failed in every way, by every metric that one can measure success and failure. Every way that you would call Doctor Who as a failure, or as you called it a success in the past, using those same metrics, it is now currently a failure. But no, they had to go and punch National Socialists in the face, because they're people, they're on the white side of history. Oh, they're on the right side of history. Yes, very good. You might believe yourself on the right side of history, but now you're also a unemployed, penniless communist as well. Not really renowned for being the right side of history. So let's look at some of these responses from to Audrey Plaza. People like say. People say, good for you. Good for you. You realise you're ready to step up. No, because people are pissed off by being called terrible names for years on end. Inch High Comic Guy. That's a really good. Twitter handle. Inch High Comic Guy. What's the name of the cartoon that's from? I can't remember. Is Inspector Gadget? No, Inch High. I can't remember. Was it Hong Kong Phooey? Somebody in the chat, somebody in the comments, let me know. So he writes, I will never, in capitals, buy anything you write, Aubrey Citizen, not because you talk politics, okay, so why is it then? But because you infuse your politics into your writing and attack fans with slurs. Oh, man. Inch High Comic Guy, you're saying it better than anybody else. Attack fans with slurs and your vocal wishes that violent tragedy befall them. That's bad. Okay, again, I will keep saying that the problem with these people, they didn't learn basic lessons that you're supposed to learn in kindergarten, right? You are supposed to learn these basic lessons, like don't take revenge, don't be petting up. No, they didn't learn any of these things. Never forgive, never forget, stay angry. Okay, Inch High Comic Guy, you are staying angry, and I think you represent what the majority think. You represent what the majority think. You've alienated a massive swathe of your buying audience. And who else has done that? The BBC. The first opportunity anybody had to get rid of their license fee, like Dan Hadley. He's on my we are of the Type 40 Facebook podcast, Facebook and Type 40 podcast. He's quit his license fee, and he's one of I think what most British people are like, very very decent, honourable guy, and he doesn't watch BBC because there's nothing on it to watch. There is really genuinely nothing on it worth watching, and I think the trouble is with the pandemic, people have got to realise that, they've got to see what life is like without watching their dreck being passed on over and over again, and they're just like, bye, I can live without it. I can live without being lectured by my moral and often intellectual inferiors. I think that's the general feeling. So the BBC has been criticised for demanding an extra £1 billion in funding from the government. They also lost money from the EU, which is probably why they were hard in for Remain, was it? Amid thousands of viewers terminating their license, it's more than thousands and coming up to over 1 million. The license fee, no, it's more than over 1 million. It's like 3 million. It's like a lot. Payments this year. Yeah, they are in big trouble. The Broadcasters Corporation annual report shows the Department of Culture was asked to double the BBC's borrowing limit from 1 billion to 2 billion during 2018 to 2019. Gee, what's it going to be like in 2020? That was before the pandemic. And again, that's when they felt completely emboldened and fine to lecture you, to lecture me. Oh, you voted Brexit. You voted Brexit, so now you've destroyed UNIT. Really? So, people get a little bit pissed off at that. And people are like saying, firstly, you made this Doctor Who so missable. It is an agony and a chore to watch. I watch it only for the channel. It's like Star Trek Lower Decks. I absolutely hate watching it. I would have been out at Orphan 55. That would be the point where I gave it another chance in season 12. I really did. Orphan 55 was every bit up until the next episode was the worst episode of Doctor Who ever, and they've had many of them. That's why the viewing figures for everything is down. Their big argument said, well, viewing figures is down in general. Netflix, they go Netflix and hold up their hands. No. Viewing figures is down in general because you make relentless crap. Relentless lecturing, pandering, boring crap. And, you do it in the name of diversity. The BBC does it in the name of diversity. Look, you just want to have people feel included. That seems pretty good. No, they're not doing it in the name of diversity. They're doing it to please the teeny tiny clump of piss babies that they are. That 1%. That 1% of the world. That's who they're doing it to, because they don't make entertainment people of minority cultures in England or throughout the world would be interested when they don't. They make things that make them feel good about being what they think is supportive to minority cultures. No, you know what? If you want, and this is something I would support 100%, 110%. If you want genuine diversity, take 20%, 25% of your budget, of your programming budget, and give it to minority programmers. Give it to creative voices. It's great that you got Chris Chibnall, who's a white man working for Piers Wenger, another white man, tokenizing people and putting them in front of the camera because they're a woman, because their skin's dark, because they say they're trans, whatever. We understand it makes you feel great. If you want genuine, diverse entertainment, you have to have you have to have those minority cultures create the entertainment. Like, I would really like to see a feminine science fiction action drama. I was actually excited for that by Doctor Who, and quite frankly, I would recommend going to bigfinish.com and checking out the Bernie Summerfield range, especially the early seasons, which is exactly that. It's something that's intrinsically feminine because it's written into the DNA of the story. The character is very good. Again, invented by Paul Cornell, a freaking fantastic writer. He should be able to start fundraising campaigns and do incredibly well. But unfortunately, he's alienated 50% or more of his target audience. And I think the 50% that are left are, well, I think a lot of them are sock puppet Twitter accounts, and you're not going to get them buying stuff more than once. But secondly, they're mainly broke communists. They're the people who you've decided to side with, and I don't think they're going to be able to financially support you. And you know what? I would love to support you, Paul Cornell. I'd love to support you, Ben Cook, but I'm sorry, no. No, your act on Twitter has been disgusting. Your act has been the same as the Comic Book Writers Act. Your act has been the same as the BBC. It's been freaking disgusting, and you are going down. That's just the reality of it. So this week is New York Comic Con, and we're finally going to hear what the future of Doctor Who is. Now, there's been rumours that Jodie is staying on. There's no season in 2021 or coming 2022. Jodie will stay on till the 60th. Now, the only way that could be true is if the implosion of popularity of Doctor Who and how much it's reviled by the British public has no metric whatsoever, has no influence whatsoever. Maybe that might be the case. I don't know. Listen, corporations have done very well in cutting out the voice of the consumer. They've done very well in being able to cut out the voice of the consumer. Until now. Until now. So, we're going to find out in, I think about a week. Have they started filming it? They were supposed to start filming any time now. 3 weeks ago, they said they're starting filming in a few weeks. They should be filming any time now. I haven't heard the announcement. I'm not even sure the scripts are ready, but what do I know? I do not know. The other rumors I have are it's going to be a Dr. Ruth season, which actually I don't think will be a bad idea. Other rumor is that it's going to be lots of different doctors, individual doctors for different episodes. Timeless Children are supposed to be peppered between the incarnations somehow. I don't bloody know. If you told me, I heard the rumors for Timeless Children beforehand. I went, well, that doesn't work, and it didn't. So that's really what we can expect. But what can the BBC expect? The BBC can expect to go bankrupt. The BBC can expect to go down, and when it does, I guarantee you, they're not going to blame themselves. They're not going to look in the mirror. There's going to be no mea culpa. They're not going to do what Aubrey Citizen here. And you saw how people were willing to forgive him for that. For God's sake, they're not going to have any mea culpa. Who are they going to blame? They're going to blame you. They're going to blame me, and they're going to blame people who didn't vote the way that they think you should vote. And that's why they wanted you to vote that way. That's why they wanted you to have their same political allegiances, because through those political allegiances, they avoided any form of accountability whatsoever. They have managed to avoid any form of accountability whatsoever. Until now! My name is Sheila Beckin, the Rabbi for Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.